The superfan is a brilliant specimen. For eons, we've worshipped at the altars of sports stars, pop stars, actors, fictional characters, collectibles, art, cars, and just about anything else we can relate to, share with others or simply connect with in some way. Also known as a fanatic, but let's face it, fan is much more sexy. These superfans have traveled the globe to support their chosen love, and we've tracked down some of the most diehard and dedicated. Each week we'll bring you the story of one keen punter who has dedicated their life and time, and money, so much money, to supporting someone or something, simply because it brings them immeasurable joy. And that's what life's about, right? Welcome to Metro.co, UK Superfan Weekly Series. I'm your biggest fan. Steve Archer started collecting anything he could get his hands on to do with actress Michelle Pfeiffer 30 years ago. After spending an estimated £25,000 on everything from costumes to press kits and magazines, he's rinsed the UK of merchandise and now almost exclusively only looks to overseas for new mementos. He may also have one of the largest Michelle Pfeiffer fan sites in the world, with over 85,000 following Pfeiffer as P Fabulous, and watches one of the actress's movies each and every day. Yet, he still hasn't met her. Yet. So, Steve, how on earth did you form such a massive dedication to all things Michelle Pfeiffer? It's really weird, I'm not a big film fan. When I was 19, I went to see a film, I can't remember what it was, but it was packed out. One of the other films was The Fabulous Baker Boys. It changed my life. It's just her presence, her appearance, her acting. I thought she looked quite hot as well. It's still my favorite film today. But after watching it, I started collecting a magazine called Film Review, and in the Wanted section I would ask for anything related to Michelle Pfeiffer to collect. It started with posters, photos, just basic things, and built up from there. I was still living at home then, so I had a bit more money. I still speak with my contacts from 30 years ago, people in Argentina, Australia, America. I've formed a network through my collecting. There's not much in the UK I haven't got, so most things I buy have to be from overseas. Price isn't a limit to me. If I haven't got it, I buy it. What is the most you've spent on a piece of merchandise? Michelle's costume from Stardust cost me £2,500. It's a lot of money. I've now got a room just filled with Michelle Pfeiffer stuff. I'd be scared to calculate how much I've spent over the years, but I think it's well over £25,000. I've got the cape from Batman Returns, that cost £1,000. And I know everything has been worn by Michelle Pfeiffer. I won't buy a costume unless it comes with a certificate of authentication. What else do you have? I've got over 300 magazines. I'd only buy magazines with Michelle on the cover. I've got press kits, and have collected those for nearly every film she's been in. They used to be really thick books, now they're on CDs, which isn't as exciting. I've got the original Batman Returns press kit, and I've got hundreds and hundreds of photos. One of my old contacts worked on her film Dangerous Liaisons, and he took some offset photos. Yeah, I've got some private photos that haven't been published. People tell me I should get them insured as they'd be worth money. I haven't got anything from the Fabulous Baker Boys, so I need some sort of costume at some point. It sounds silly, but she wore a red dress and red shoes in the film. About 15 years ago the shoes came up for sale, but I didn't have the money. They were a couple grand. I've regretted not buying them ever since. Now I've got the money, but I haven't seen them. But if something's on eBay, there is no point in someone else bidding on it, because I'll win it. I will never lose an eBay bid. I'll bid a ridiculous price. My collection needs to be seen to be believed. Some posters are 10 feet long, they're too big to fit in the house. Proper cinema posters from premieres. Everything is catalogued and in order. Magazines are in year order. Pictures are in film order. If you count it up, I've got over 8,000 things. Sometimes postage is more than the actual object, but I used to try and buy a thing a day. What is it about Michelle in particular that drew you in? I just think she's a really underrated actress, I really do. Now I don't care about her appearance. If I go to see a Michelle Pfeiffer film, I'm going to enjoy it. She could wear a paper bag over her head and I'd still go and see it 3 or 4 times. So it's fair to say you've watched all of her films multiple times. I'll try and watch one of her films when I'm getting ready for work in the morning. And when it comes to Fabulous Baker Boys, I'll try and watch that once a week. I'm not a big general movie fan, so I don't watch any others. I can remember the last film I saw without Michelle Pfeiffer in it, to be honest. Big question is, have you met Michelle? I've never met her. Most people would say no, but my answer is not yet. And you run a fan group? I've got 85,000 on my fan group. It can't be far away from being the biggest in the world. They don't join unless they're fans, so it's a dedicated base. Finding new people is a bit difficult now. I can't see many more joining, maybe 4 or 5,000 to go. There are people from all around the world on there, and I've met up with the UK fans, while a couple from America I've met through it are due to come over in September. I've got someone to run my Instagram accounts now. I do Facebook. It takes up so much time, but I'm not complaining because it's going so well. What do your friends think of your dedication? Some call me stalker, laughs. But they're probably used to it now, probably wouldn't know me any other way. I don't really mention my fan club when I'm outside, it's only when I'm at home. But it's just part of me now. I'm Your Biggest Fan is a weekly series that deep dives into the world of fandoms, via the people who worship the hardest. Check back in next Thursday to check out the latest aficionado. If you've got a rather brilliant obsession, from Game of Thrones to My Little Pony, and want to share the reasons why, get in touch. Covered in tattoos of your favorite soapy star? Perhaps you sold the house to satisfy your obsession with Christmas. Whatever it is, we would love to know your story. Email us celebtips@metro.co.uk, call 020-3615-2145 or visit our Submit Stuff page with a bit about what you've done, with some pictures to back it up. You'll have to be prepared to be interviewed and deep dive into the fandom, but that's the fun part, right? More, I'm Your Biggest Fan. Susan Boyle Fanatic has multiple cardboard cutouts of Britain's Got Talent star. More, I'm Your Biggest Fan, the Whovian, who's dedicated a lot of time and space to Doctor Who.